Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and welcome back to the iFly Boeing 737 MAX. Today we are once again going to do a short quick flight. First of all, taking a look at a brand new airport in the form of Frankfurt Hahn from Simulations. And then we are going to have a lovely ride over there, since Storm Benjamin has just about passed over the UK, and it's finally clear skies again early in the morning over here in Stansted. But that is not gonna hold for long, since over in Hahn the storm is still fully raging with gusts up to 30 knots. So that is looking really promising. And therefore, I'd say we get straight into this. As always, we are going to start by reviewing our flight plan. Now, here it is. We are going to do more or less a straight flight out of Stansted across the English Channel, and then in one straight line towards Hahn with the standard arrival transition down there. In form of the weather, this is what I'm talking about. Stansted actually has good weather conditions at the moment, nothing to worry about, but then we're looking over at Hahn. Currently 240-13, gusts 23, but according to the forecast, 240-15, gust 30 is absolutely possible, even gusts up to 35 knots. So overall, some interesting weather for our flight over here. Now for the flight plan itself, we've got OFP revision number 7. You can see I've been working on it for a little bit here. Departing Stansted at 5:30 in the morning, then we are going to arrive like 10 minutes ahead of schedule over in Hahn. We are uncritical with any of our weights. Cruising level 330 is easy going today. Now let's go over to the important thing, and that's our fuel. So planned takeoff is 4.2 plus 200 taxi leads to 4.4. Now, with the widespread weather situation that we've got, there are two good alternates, which are Baden-Baden, which is the planned one, and Cologne is also okay. But we still have some rather widespread bugs with the volume of our flight simulator. Let me cancel that one here. So we also have some widespread weather situation. So for that reason, if 4.4 is the minimum, let's take fuel for an extra go around plus 15 minutes. So that's going to end up to become 1.4 extra. So that adds up to 5.8 tons of fuel for today's flight. Alright, so with that in mind, let's go straight into our Boeing 737 and let's get going over here. So follow me inside, getting ready for this lovely little trip. Now, at this point, huge shout out to AMD Ryzen, who have once again built an entire cabin, removing the business class model from the iFly 737 and instead inserting a full economy class model. Now, that's of course just visually, there are no changes to the system depth over here, but since iFly is officially still working on the 8200, which is the low-cost version of the 737 MAX 8 that Ryanair uses, we are hopefully going to see that in the future. So let's take a seat down here, because otherwise it's just a little bit difficult to actually find that battery switch in the darkness. Over here we can see it easily. So battery is coming on, external power is also coming on. And then I am gonna switch on those flight deck lights over here. And now we can stand up and do the safety inspection as we would in the real world as well. So, no smoking should be off, attendant call is checked, then let's do the fire test. And that's looking good. Then the extinguisher test, also looking good. Cargo fire is good. Takeoff warning is good. Transponder should be off at this point down here. And then moving on to the ceiling, we've got the clacker tests. Voice recorder test is good. Stall warning test. That thing shouldn't vibrate like all the time, but much rather it should just give me a little burst of vibration there. For it to operate continuously, you need 4 minutes of AC power, but okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. Alright then, let's go ahead and turn up a couple of flight deck lights over here as well, and then we can take a seat. So, same thing up here. Let's bring the flight deck lights up, then we also want the background lights, some AFDF floodlights. Also, let's tune the brightness of the displays down to half. That's absolutely all that we are gonna need today. Like that. Come on, here we go. Set on one side, and now let's do the other. Believe me, this goes a lot quicker in the real world than it does in flight simulation. Alright, here we go. And finally, the pedestal as well. Give me that, and here we go. Beautiful, so that's our aircraft fully lit up. Alright then, let's quickly go ahead and run into the electronic flight bag so that we can start loading our plane, so that we can start with our pre-flight. So, weight and balance, and we are going to insert 178 over here, and that leads me to 60.9. Now let's bring up the flight plan so that we know how heavy we should be. And you can be sure with weather like that, there's always going to be 1 or 2 no-shows. Probably even a little bit more. So 61.5 is the plan. Let's just insert 400 kilos of cargo in the front hold. Leads me to 61.3. That's absolutely fine. For the fuel, we said we wanted 5,800 kilos. Then we got 143 down here, and the trip fuel is going to be 2120, like that. Set payload and complete. We are going to do live refueling. So let's head down into the system page and then to refuel. So we need 5.8. That's 5.8. Okay, that's 2.9 on each side. So 2.90 and 2.90. Alright, that looks good. So let's open up those valves and go. Okay, so refueling is in progress. And then we can start our ground services here, calling for boarding. So, handling by Ryanair, please. And off we go. Beautiful. Alright then, that's the basics of the setup. Now let's actually go ahead and start setting up our airplane. Alright, so oxygen chest is good on this side. Then nav display on that side is set up as well. Wonderful. Okay. Well then, that's the couple of basics. Then let's go ahead and set up our FMS. And for that, I am using my WinWing MCDU through the MobiFlight app. And if you're wondering, I'm using the 777 MCDU because that one actually mimics the setup of the 737 MAX FMS best. Alright, so we've got a 737-8.1 27K rating, nav database is up to date. Pause in it, next page, copy the GPS position and enter. Then onto the route, Echo Golf Sierra Sierra, towards Echo Delta Foxtrot Hotel, and we are the Ryanair 48 Mike November, like that. Alright, departing from Stansted. With this weather we know for sure that it's going to be runway 22, so I'm not even going to bother with listening to the ATC right now, but if there was any doubt, then we would absolutely listen to the ATC. So, Mike 84 to Conan, then Upper Lima 607, Sierra Papa India, then Quebec 50 towards Arki, and Lima 607 to Ropov. Like that. Alright, departure arrival into Hahn, ILS 21, Ropov 4 Alpha, Fox Hotel 506 transition, and a very quick check. This is all looking good, so activate. Then on to the performance, cost NX6 as we are flying Ryanair. Then 2000 kilos reserves, 0 fuel 61.5, flight level 330 is the planned cruising level. Wind up there is going to be something like 285 at 35. And the temperature minus 45 degrees. Transition altitude 6001, always at 1 feet. And down here it's actually a dry runway. So, on the climb page, 250 below 100 is in here. And then we can go to the fixed page, Stansted, and a 25-mile ring. So, last but not least, let's have a look at the legs page, please. And for that, we do need our terminal charts. Use airports from FMS. Complete. Alright, Stansted. Added the clip, and we need the airport charts and the parking stands. Then for a SID, we need the Clacton to echo RMP departure. And here it is. Alright, so you can give me night mode, please. Thank you. So, starting down here with waypoint 01, max 210 between 900 and 4000. And we got waypoint 1 below 210 and above 900. The 4000 is limiting up here. Let's also have a look at that in plan mode, by the way. Okay, then we continue via waypoint 3, maximum 210. Waypoint 6, 210 above 3000. And we got all of those. Then continue via waypoint 11, max 250, 4000. Waypoint 18, 4000. And we got 11, 250, 4000. 18, 4000. Then continue via 23, 26 with 5000 and 6000 and onto Clacton at 6000. And that's it. Alright, cool. So that's pretty easy what we're doing here. And with that, our FMS setup is basically completed. Now, to have another look into the charts for our nav setup, we got 086 inbound to Clacton 1455, so 11455, and we can tune that active on both sides like that with 086 on the course. Alright, cool, and that's also set on both sides. Refueling is now completed. Then let's turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Let's also turn on a couple of lights for a colleague to do the walk around, and then we can start up here. So, yaw damper on, nav transfer display switches normal auto, fuel pumps coming on, crossfeed, bright then dim, and bright then off. Here we go, cabin utility IFE on, fasten belts are on. So, window heat is on, hydraulic pumps on, seatbelt CBR switch not simulated, which is really a pity because that is SOP. Alright, so elevation over in Hahn is 1600. Don't ask me how I know. You can always look it up on the Lex page if you just have a look at the runway waypoint. Take that, subtract 50, then you got the field elevation. Okay, so QNH, let's just go ahead and set that right down here. And here we go, 999er. And the MFRA should be 1350. Like that. Alright, cool. So, QNH 999, let's set that over here as well. Like that. So, fuel flow reset, auto brake RTO, and hydraulics are checked, N1 and speed reference are on auto. Then moving further down, we need a couple of frequencies. That's going to be 121.9055 for delivery. At least as far as I remember. Let's actually look it up real quick. Yeah, 121.955 and 121.73. Alright, so that's coming active, and then 121.7. 3, perfect. So 121.5. Like that. Listen VHF 1 and 2, also to the cabin interphone. We don't want to listen to the flight attendants. Ryanair doesn't have the TCAS above below switch in the real world. For that reason, I'm just going to keep it in neutral. The rest is set. Middle is set. The right side is now set as well. And with that, we are done with our pre-flight preparations down here. Well, almost at least. So, heading should be 222. Like that. Initial climb 4000, so let's put 4.1 in there. Alright, cool. And that's it. So, that's our flight deck completely set up. Then, let's actually go ahead and do a little bit of ATC related stuff, because I want my clearance before we are gonna go for the briefing, so that we don't have to brief twice. So, ATIS 12718. Here we go.
80. Tower backup operation may result in limited services today. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Juliet.
So, ATC Juliet.
London Stansted Airport. Information Juliet. 1420 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 22. Wind 240 at 13. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Scattered at 3200 feet. Broken at 4000 feet. Temperature 12. Dew point 5. QNH 09 or 9 or 8. Transition level 80. Tower backup operation may result in limited services today. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic services...
Alright, so information Juliet is on board. Let's request clearance. Stansted delivery, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Information Juliet, request IFR clearance. So Juliet's on board, we got that.
Clearance. Stand by.
Okay, he's working on it. So, as basically always, we are using Sane Tensions AI today for our air traffic control.
November. Cleared to Frankfurt Hahn via the Clacton 2 Echo departure, runway 22. Initial climb to 4,000 feet. Departure on 120.625 squawk 2342.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, cleared to Frankfurt Hahn via Clacton 2 Echo departure, runway 22, climb altitude 4,000, departure 120.625, squawk 2342. So, 4,000...
Ryanair 48 Mike November, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.73.
121.73, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Okay, excellent. So, Clacton 2 Echo, runway 22 is confirmed. Initial climb 4,000 is checked, and squawk 2342 is also checked. And then our departure is going to be 120.625. I will just put that down here as a backup. Alright, beautiful. So that's our departure clearance copied. Then let's go for our briefing. So threats for today's departure, honestly, I do not see any. Do you? Nope. Beautiful. So, let's go for the route check. We're going from Echo Golf Sierra Sierra to Echo Delta Foxtrot Hotel, Romeo and Romeo 48 Mike November. The routing is via Clacton Mike 48 Conan, Upper Lima 607 Sprimont, Quebec 50 Arky, Lima 607 Ropov, and that's a ground distance of 345 versus 352, 3.4 remaining, 2000 required, that's 1.4 extra, exactly as we wanted it. Okay, so now that we got this, let's continue on the instrument cross-check. So it's time UTC 0630, altimeter should be 9998 according to the ATC. So altimeter 9998, reading 320, I'm afraid 1350, flight directors are now on minus master, and the standby instruments are set. It's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 22, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and the buck-up at 1500 feet. What else do we have? Well, in emergencies, straight at 25, hold in 3000, that's above the MSA of 2100 feet. Now for the emergencies, above 80 knots, I will only call stop for fire or fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if the aircraft is unable or unsafe to fly. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disengage the auto brake, apply maximum manual braking, manually raise the speed brake lever, apply maximum reverse thrust, and when the aircraft comes to stop, I will set the parking brake. If you call stop, I know the brakes on speed and call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thrust reverse normal indications. Call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, call in emission cycle, auto brake disarm, and select flap 40 when the brake has been set, and advise ATC of the reject. We then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we read and do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBRCB, you grab the lid, and then we get out. If the call before V1 is keep going, there will be no actions below 400 feet except to cancel any warnings and raise the landing gear with a positive rate. At 400 feet, verify heading select and carry out the memory items. At the MFRA, buck up, retract the flaps and schedule. Flaps up no light, select level change, max continue thrust, engage the automatics, non-normal checklist, normal checklist, PIOS in its PA, and then we are probably going to return to Stansted. So apart from that, I've got nothing special or non-standard here. Taxi is fairly easy in Stansted, pushback to the left, and then probably straight out to either Sierra or Romeo. For our sit, it's the Clacton to Echo RMP departure on a chart. Where's the identifier? Well, somewhere. On chart 30-3 Papa effective 28th of December. Initial climb altitude 4000. We've already checked the routing and we agree with that. Conventional backup is not available as it's an RMP departure, even though we've got the 086 inbound Clacton set on the MCP, because why wouldn't we? Okay, and that's all I got. Do you have any questions? Nope. Superb. Then let's quickly say hello to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Ryanair, I would like to welcome you aboard our Boeing 737 MAX 8200 on our flight to Frankfurt Hahn. Today's flight time, approximately 50 minutes, expecting a smooth flight in 33,000 feet or approximately 10,000 meters of altitude. For the time being, sit back, relax, and make yourself comfortable, and we will get back to you with the latest weather when we start our approach into Hahn. Thank you very much, and again, welcome aboard. Okay, so they're done with the boarding. Then let's turn that APU on. And I have no idea why iFly is resetting my landing field elevation. Doesn't make any sense, but here it is corrected. 1600. Alright, cool. So prepare position for pushback and departure, please. And while they're doing that, we can go down into the FMS and do our takeoff performance. Okay, so the weights are pretty much the way they've been loaded over here, so 61.3 versus 61.5. Well, I suppose that's good enough. Gives me a takeoff weight of 67, and that looks good. Okay, execute. So then we'll take the data that we had calculated over here, and that gives me a reduced
Ryanair
takeoff to 33 degrees. So takeoff 2 at 33. 82.9% and 81.2%. That difference is because the APU is not available just yet. That's fine. Alright, flaps 5 takeoff, and we've got a CG of 24.2. Like that, and that results in takeoff speeds of 42, 42, 46. And that is correct. Okay, great. So 146 up here. And with that done, let's go ahead and do the safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line, please. So services on trucks checked, maintenance status checked, batteries are on, hydraulic pumps on. So now they can disconnect. Let's also get some warm air coming. Okay, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked, safety inspection checklist complete. Before start checklist, IRS mode selectors, nav, gear pins 1 to 3 removed, probe covers 1 to 3, 4, 5 removed, ELT is armed, and light test. I keep forgetting that one. The switch just is so hard to see on the 737 MAX. On the NG it's much easier, because the switch is located a little bit nicer. Okay, so light test is checked, oxygen chest 100%, yaw damper on, nav transfer display switches normal and auto, fuel 4.4 required, 5.8 on board, 4 pumps on, cabin utility IFE galley power on, emergency exit lights on, fast modes on, window heat on, air conditioning and pressurization, PAX auto bleeds on. Why the fuck is this resetting the landing altitude all the time? There's no reason for that. Okay, and set, pressurization mode selector auto, instruments cross-checked, auto brake RTO, hydraulics are normal, speed brake. Down detent, park and brake set, stop and cutout switch is normal, wheel fire warning checked, radius radar and transponder set standby, rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0, takeoff briefing disgusting, PA complete, FMC and CDU are set, N1 and IIS box. Got automatic reduced takeoff 2, speeds 42, 42, 46 set. Stop trim 6.1 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode and stowed, flight windows and cockpit door. Are locked, doors not yet done. Okay. So, let's see. Doors. Next page. And retract the air stairs, please. Could have done that automatically. Also, then we can go to the ground support and remove all this, remove all this. And before we hit enter, yes, the APU is on the bus. Good. Okay, so all the stuff is removed. Then we are basically good to go. So, doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist complete, down to the line. Ground from flight deck. Please confirm all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, thanks, call you back.
Contact tower on 123.805 and 10.
As soon as the...
Switching to tower, Ryanair 4577.
Stansted ground, Ryanair 48 Mike November, request pushback and startup. And if we turn the transponder on, he's actually gonna see us.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, pushback and startup approved. Face northwest.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northwest, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Okay, before start checklist below the line, air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder out off, before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck. So, pushback approved, facing north onto the east line, parking brake set. Roger, release, parking brake please. So, facing north onto Charlie East, and the parking brake is released. Thank you, start the pushback and stand by for engine start. Roger.
Ryanair 7549er, give way to the company 737 on your left.
Okay, beautiful.
Give way to the company 737 Ryanair 7549er.
So, the first rays of daylight are just about rising over the terminal building. That's wonderful. Looking forward to this flight, straight into the sun. I think this is going to be a pretty nice one. Okay, and we clear the red line, so starting engines in sequence 2 then 1, and we'll begin with engine 2
Runway
now.
22 taxi via Delta Juliet Charlie Sierra Ryanair 759 on Mike.
So, engine 2 start.
Welcome aboard Ryanair Flight
And 2.
1749, heading to Frankfurt.
And 1.
On behalf of the airline, the Captain Emmanuel,
Standing by for oil pressure,
and the entire
and for the
crew,
motoring
we're
to
thrilled
complete.
have you with us today. Our estimated
Might take a little while, but luckily it's pretty cold outside, just 4 degrees,
Let's go through some important safety
so that
information.
should be quick.
Please ensure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap.
Alright, here's number 2. 25%, fuel on, checking the self-test up here, and that the valves are moving properly.
Place it over your nose and mouth, and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others.
Oh yeah, the characteristic sound of a 737 MAX engine starting. And that's pushback complete, set brakes please.
Ryanair 27 Mike request push and start. Ryanair 27 Mike.
Parking brake set.
Start approved.
And we've got a good start on the right engine, start on the left engine. Start a cutout, monitor 2, isolating a pack, engine 1 start. So, M2, N1, motoring in progress, and here we go, motoring complete. So, fuel coming on, and the valve is moving. Perfect.
Ryanair 27 Mike ready to taxi. Ryanair 27 Mike runway 22 taxi via West Charlie Sierra. Runway 22 taxi via C West Charlie Sierra Ryanair 27 Mike.
Okay, ground, we have 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Please show me the pin on the right hand side and have a good day. Bye-bye. And there is the pin. Awesome. So, we'll need flaps 5 for this one. Here we go. Trim 6.1 is set anyway. That's fair enough. Okay, so clear signal is received. Flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. Before taxi checklist. Generators on. APU off. Start switch is continuous. Probe heat on. Anti-ice off. Air conditioning. PAX auto. Bleeds on. Isolation valve, auto, flaps, 5 required, 5 selected, and a green light. Step trim 6.1 required set. Start levers idle detent. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. Before taxi checklist complete. Ryanair 48 Mike November. Request taxi. Ryanair 48 Mike November. Request taxi. That works much better when you select the correct button.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, runway 22. Taxi via Charlie East, Charlie, Hotel, Romeo.
Taxi holding point runway 22 via Charlie East, Charlie, Hotel, Romeo, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Okay, so Charlie East, Charlie, Hotel, Romeo. Good. So, parking brake released, config. And here we go. Looks rather busy at the holding point though. So this takes a couple of minutes and I'm not surprised. Okay, tower 123805, we can pre-select that. Alright, beautiful. So, taxi checklist. That's config, checked, flaps, 5, green light, stop trim, 6.1 set. Takeoff briefing. It's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 22, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure number 2, with a buck up at 1500, PAX auto bleeds on, anti-ice off. Engine out, sit straight at 25 miles to pick up the hold, and the standard sit is left-hand turn via the on-off points with nothing additional. Apart from that, we've got nothing crazy and nothing non-standard here. Flaps can be retracted completely at this weight, and that's it. Cabin. Secured, before takeoff checklist complete, down to the line. And this might take a little while now with all the traffic, so I see you in a few moments when we're actually at the holding point.
Stansted Tower, Ryanair 8215.
Okay, that was quick. We've just about gotten our takeoff clearance, so my apologies for unmuting a little bit later. Didn't actually expect that early. But okay, here we go. Why is... Well, that's beat not pushed. That's not meant to be pushed. Nope. I hate it when you press a button that's... No, why is the auto thrust coming on here? Okay, well, bug. Okay, so, before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set. Transponder, TARA. Strobe light on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, so takeoff clearance has just been given, then we're ready to go. Takeoff.
Ryanair 7549 on contact departure. Safe travel.
Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. 80 knots. Checked. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. LNAV. And she flies nicely. Come on, Tay. Back up.
Ryanair 48 Mike, November. Contact departure on 120.625.
120.625, Ryanair 48 Mike, November. So, flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1. Stansted radar, Ryanair 48 Mike, November, passing 3000, climbing altitude 4000. So, flaps up, speed checked, flaps up. We're already in alt acquire.
Ryanair 48 Mike, November. Stansted radar, identified.
Okay, so flaps up, no lights.
Ryanair
VNAV.
7549, a contact London control.
We're going to remain on QNH and after
135.805.
takeoff checklist, please.
135.805.
And yeah, let's release the cabin.
Speedbird 8 November, Golf, contact London control.
Okay, so
on
air cannon press 1.0, climbing and
121.23
set.
for Speedbird 8 November Golf.
What's the temperature doing back there? That's good. Okay, and holding at altimeters.
Ryanair 48 Mike, November, Stansted radar, climb flight level 210.
Climbing flight level 210, Ryanair 48 Mike, November. Set, 210 checked, VNAV, and then we gotta press Alt Intervent a few times here. Here we go. Okay, set standard.
Departure EZ83 Bravo
Standard
Yankee
cross check
2000
passing
for
flight level
4000.
47 now. Check.
Easy 83 Bravo Yankee, radar contact.
And that's the after
Climb
takeoff
and
checklist
maintain
complete.
10,000.
Okay, nice. We're cleared above level 150, then we can reduce, or rather, then we can delete the climb derate. And here we go, full blast. Now, let's see what rate of climb we're going to get here. Engines are on climb first, we no longer need that timer. We have the elapsed timer running down here.
Up to flight level 100,
And this should have been...
Papa Romeo.
That was 210 earlier, wasn't it?
Easy 83 Bravo Yankee contact.
There it is, working in this airplane.
132.05.
132.05
Man, look at
for
this.
EZ83 Bravo Yankee.
Look at this. Fantastic once again. London in the background there. That's just fantastic. That's just absolutely fantastic. So, altimeters. Passing 10,000, climbing 210. And let's actually delete those speed 250 restrictions. There's a little bug in the iFly here. You can see...
Mike, November, climb flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280, Ryanair 48 Mike, November.
Hotel contact Stansted Tower.
Alright, now it's accelerating.
805.
Set, 280 checked, VNAV. Okay, so 10 checks. The fuel is balanced with 4 pumps on, lights
The lavatories are available.
off, APU off, aircon and press, 3.6 climbing and set. Fasten belts, I think we can absolutely release them for now.
Radar contact.
And recall is checked and 1 to 1.5 is getting monitored. There is no CPDLC on this airplane, at least none that iFly would simulate. And well, with that, sit back, relax and enjoy our flight to Hahn. 60, vector Cyrus 21, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Heading select. So they're probably trying to keep us clear of that weather over there. Not 100% sure, but it would seem logical. In any case, we are now descending
Ryanair 48
nicely.
Mike November, contact Langen radar on 125.6.
125.6, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Langen radar, Ryanair 48 Mike November, passing level 167, descending level 90.
Ryanair 48 Mike November. Langen radar identified. Moin Moin.
Okay, beautiful.
Ryanair 48 Mike November. Langen radar identified. Good morning.
Yeah, you said that already. But that is absolutely fine, so let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for that approach. The Atus is going to be on 136.355. So let's listen in.
On level 70, bird activity in the vicinity of airport. Advise on course landing, altitude, and traffic services requested. Read all runway and bold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot. Frankfurt Hahn Airport, information Foxtrot. 1520 arriving and departing runway 21. Wind 225 at 9 gusting 26. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Static 2900 feet. Static Q1 is at 5,000 feet. Temperature 7. Dew point 4. QNH 1005. Transition level 70. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Advise on course landing, altitude, and traffic services requested. Read all runway and bold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you.
Alright, so that's our weather, and that isn't all too bad. Now, for the time being, let's go into level change here, start slowing down towards 250 already, and then let's talk about our approach briefing. So, threats for the arrival, most definitely going to be the weather. Shouldn't be too much of an issue if I'm completely honest, but I think we should just tell them we're able to turn right now direct to, what's it called? Fox Hotel 515. Ryanair 48 Mike November, we are able to proceed direct Foxtrot Hotel 515. That should also solve that routing issue over there. No idea where that comes from.
Ryanair 48 Mike November. Clear direct Foxtrot Hotel 515. Continue approach as filed.
Direct Foxtrot Hotel 515, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Okay, LNAV available, and LNAV.
7 Whiskey, radar contact.
Okay, perfect. No comment on that one down here. Why is the 506 still on there? Oh, because 515 is in here twice. Okay. Well, clear, execute, and look at that. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? Alright, so, threats for the arrival. The biggest threat is definitely going to be the weather in today's approach. So, we've heard the Atus, the gusts are like 20 knots strong. What we're going to do is to approach at VRF plus 15, and then we are going to mitigate as needed. Namely, that means we'll try to maintain our airspeed anywhere between VRF and VRF plus 15. That way it should hopefully not go above VRF plus 20. However, it is acceptable if it goes above plus 20 temporarily, and temporarily only. Okay, yeah, apart from that, got nothing special here, 1000 to go. And speed, vertical speed.
I'll make sure the crew checks that everyone is seated and has fastened their seats.
So let's start slowing down towards 220. Airspace class Echo is a little bit of a thing here as well, however, with this weather today, I do not expect any dentists to be up in the air. Well, and that's the two things that I have. In case we get a wind shear, because Hahn is one of those airports where that could possibly absolutely happen. So yeah, in case we do get a wind shear, then the wind shear escape maneuver is fireball with thrust levers, disengage auto thrust, Ensure the speed brakes are retracted, pitch up to 15 degrees, then follow the flight director, and do not change the configuration until out of wind shear. If we need to change the configuration for any, or well, once we're out of wind shear, that way around, then we might need to change the configuration quickly, namely retracting the flaps, in order not to overspeed them. Okay, that's about it. Anything from your side? No? Okay, then let's quickly do the 10 checks here, before we continue with the rest of the briefing. So the fuel is balanced, and we got 4 pumps on, lights on, angular bank 25.
Flight level 070.
Descending flight level 70, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Okay, set, 7,000 checked, vertical speed 2,000. Okay, good. So 10 checks, fuel balance, 4 pumps, lights on, angular bank 25, air cannon press, 2.2 descending set, fasten belts. Wow, that was not on. Alright, on now, recall checked, and 21.5.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, descend flight level 060, turn left heading 070.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, descending flight level 60 and left heading 070. Why is he asking us for that left turn? Doesn't seem to make too much sense here. Okay, set, 60 checked, and level change. Alright, cool. So, to finish the briefing. VNAV pages in, fixed range runway 21, 10 miles, 5 miles, ILS approach out of Ralof in 5000, 3 degree glide slope, minimum 1794, go around straight at right hand turn, climbing 5000. Apart from that, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary.
November 7 miles from Foxtrot Hotel 515, turn right heading 140, descend flight level 050 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 21 approach.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, turn right heading 140, descend 5000 feet, cleared ILS 21. Okay, set QNH. QNH 1000 cross check, passing 6300 now. Checked. Okay, beautiful. Then let's do a little bit of a CDA over here. VS minus 500 and speed back towards 210. Okay, so for the important thing on the approach, we are gonna have 3.6 tons. That gives us 1.6 extra, so roughly 20 minutes. 65 tons landing weight, flaps 30 because of the weather, and I don't care if that means that we might have to help it a little bit. I am, however, going to help it a bit turning final now. Okay, cleared for the approach, and Warlock captured. Runway heading 209 is set. Okay, cool. Then let's go for the approach checklist, please. Well, that is Airbus. No. Let's actually go for the frisk check. So, frequencies 111.3, 3 times, fixed rings, runway 21, 10 miles, 5 miles, items, India Hotel Alpha Whiskey, India Hotel Alpha Whiskey, India Hotel Alpha Whiskey, standby instrument set, courses 209, check 3 times. Now the approach checklist. Altimeter and instruments, set cross check, approach rates, checked and set, and approach checklist complete. Alright, so everything is done.
Ryanair 48 Mike for November, contact Hahn Tower on 119.655 when established.
119.655, Ryanair 48 Mike November. Hahn Tower, Ryanair 48 Mike November, established ILS 21. Okay, glide slope alive, flaps 1, speed checked. Ooh, and the gusts are starting. Now, was that frequency wrong? Let's quickly check. Chart tell 119.655. No, that should be correct. Tower Ryanair 48 Mike November, established ILS 21. Flaps 5. Speed checked. Last stop capture. Go around altitude 5000 is set. Tower Ryanair 48 Mike November, do you read? 19655. Well, the backup is 120905. Hahn Tower, Ryanair 48 Mike November, established ILS 21. Okay, field is in sight down there. Ryanair 48 Mike November, tower does not answer. That's exactly what you need in weather like this.
$2,500.
Terrain noted. And now he is not answering either? What's wrong?
Ryanair 48 Mike November advise standby. I'll attempt to contact tower for you.
Okay, thanks. Alright then, gear down, flaps 15. Flaps 30. Speed check, flaps 30. So, VRF plus 15 is 157. Landing checklist. Start switches, continuous. Recall. Check. Speed brake, arm, green light. Landing gear down for green. Flaps 30, 30, green light. Landing lights, to go. Ryanair 48 Mike November, did you reach the tower?
Ryanair 48 Mike November, no contact with tower yet, standby.
Oh, that's how you like it, huh? So, we're stabilized at 1000. Well, with this kind of weather, I'd rather do this myself. So, manual flight, manual thrust. And, yep, that's where the gusts are coming.
$1,000.
Checked. Ryanair 48 Mike November, can you give us the landing clearance?
Ryanair 48 Mike to November, unable to provide landing clearance. Contact Hahn Tower on 119.655 for landing clearance.
Tower Ryanair 48 Mike November on short final runway 21. Continue for now.
Ryanair 48 Mike November on tower, runway 21 is the active runway.
50,
Confirm
40,
your landing runway 21.
30,
Yeah, thanks.
20,
Ryanair
10.
48 Mike November on tower, winds 220 and
Come on,
gusting
come on.
26. Runway 21, cleared to land. Caution bird.
Touchdown right on the clear to land. That was hilarious. And yeah, there were some birds. But we didn't hit them. 100 knots, 80 knots, manual brakes, we'll take the next exit. Thank you. Man, that was hilarious. That was good. But we managed to keep it in the air until we had the landing clearance. Small hint, don't do that in the real world. Go around over the threshold. Alright, well, we got there. Okay, so here we are. Welcome to Hahn, my friends. Welcome to Hahn. Beautiful new scenery from MM. So, parking 324 today. Man, that approach was just hilarious. That was great. That was just great.
Ryanair 48 Mike November Hahn Tower, welcome to Hahn. Contact ground on 121.908.
121.908, Ryanair 48 Mike November.
Biggest airports in the world. Thank you for flying with Ryanair today. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf
On ground, Ryanair 48 Mike November, request taxi to stand 324.
of 1 a.m. If you have a connection, please listen carefully. Flight number FR 235 to Barcelona departs at 9:30 a.m. Gate B12. And flight number FR 350.
Ryanair 48 Mike 48 November, taxi to terminal overflow. Gate 324 via Charlie Alpha. Have a good day.
Taxi to gate 324 via Charlie and Alpha, Ryanair 48 Mike November. And Ryanair 48 Mike November, we have a number for you for possible ATC deviation. Report ready to copy. Let's see what the AI is going to do about that.
Ryanair 48 Mike November, ready to copy the number for the 80 center deviation report.
Oh! Thank you very much. The number is 123456789. Please read back. Let's see what ATC is going to do. I gotta play this one out. In the meantime...
Mike November, Roger 123456789, read back correctly.
That is correct, thank you. Alright! Man, that was cool. That was cool. I mean, I gotta say, apart from the fact that Tower didn't answer, they actually didn't handle that all too wrong. Obviously should have instructed me to go around and come back for a second approach, but... I mean, Tower did reply in the end, so... But in the real world, what they would have done would be that if you're on that short of a final, and before they sent you back to Tower, a Tower controller would have relayed the landing clearance either via telephone to the approach controller, or, what would have been even easier, is to call the pilot on the emergency frequency 121.5. However, Ryanair SOP wants us to deselect that at 10,000, so for this reason, that's not gonna happen to a Ryanair aircraft. Alright then, we're going to do this without the APU, just like they do in the real world. From my experience flying into Hahn, they've actually been pretty good over here at providing the ground power unit on time, so that's pretty good. Oh, Wizz Air, you're a little bit too long, huh? Don't stick your thing out onto my taxiway. And for the time being, shut down engine 2. I'm just gonna taxi through this now. I can't be bothered. Okay, lights off. And the radar is off as well. So 324 is right over here. So ground staff is here. Otherwise, this is the moment where Ryanair pilots would get like really nervous because the APU isn't running yet. Well, to be honest, you don't get nervous, you just resignate because it's something that you're all too familiar with. but someone told me it's got to be dramatic for YouTube, so let's put it that way. Alright, and here we are. So, parking brake is set, and now you would just have to wait until they have actually connected the GPU. But in some airports, especially in those Ryanair airports like this one, they're really good at this. So here we go, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, and here we go. So the engine is running down. And that's looking fantastic. So that's all set, you go on. Then both engines below 20%. That thing goes off. Up here everything's set. So squawk 2000. And transit shutdown checklist, please. That's the electrical on grandpa. Fast mode's off. Pro beat auto. NEI's off. Aircon packs auto. Engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. External lights set, start switch is off, auto brake off, speed brake down to 10, flaps out no light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CB in, and the cockpit door is about to be unlocked. So for now, chocks are coming in, then we can release our brakes for cooling, and then doors, give me the air stair please. Like where is it? Number 2 air stair, extend. Alright, and for the rest we are gonna use GSX for deboarding. Well, my friends, and with that, welcome to the Hähnchen. Thank you very much for flying along. Now, that was certainly quite the interesting approach. ATC actually did quite a good job today. I mean, if you do simulate the tower just being, you know, down on the frequency for a moment, I don't know, maybe the guy went for a dump or something. Yeah, then this was handled kinda well. So, of course, only that last handover should have been a little bit better, but hey, we got the landing clearance before we touched down. Like half a second, but we got it before we touched down. Obviously, with this kind of weather, I would never have held the aircraft off that long. And there would always have been the backup in place with the light signals, so we would have watched the tower closely, and if we saw green light coming from the tower, that would have been our landing clearance. So that would have been like the last line of defense there, provided there is someone in the tower. Alright, and well, that's everything I can say about this. So yeah, I do hope that you guys have enjoyed the flight as much as I did. I surely found this one very interesting, so be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and then I'm really looking forward to see you guys again on the next one.